The UK has agreed to withdraw draft clauses in Brexit legislation that would have broken international law and reneged on its earlier agreement with the European Union. The move is being hailed as progress by both Britain and Ireland. But on the separate matter of reaching a trade deal, there's still no sign of progress. All right, let's find out what the state of play is with these talks. I want to take you now to DW's Brussels bureau chief, Alexander von Namen, to find out the latest about the Brexit talks. Alexander, remind viewers, please, what these clauses that we just reported on were about and why the European Union objected to them in the first place.
Well, to understand that, we need to step back a little bit. Last year, the European Union and the UK agreed on the terms of their divorce, so to speak, on the withdrawal agreement. And one key point there was to make sure, even after Brexit, that the border between the Republic of Ireland and Northern Ireland will remain an open border, that no goods there will need to be checked, that some of the EU's customs rules will remain in place. But then the UK said, oh, we don't know how it's going to be implemented. Maybe it's going to hurt us when we don't have a trade agreement with the European Union. So they went on, and those clauses on potential tariffs, on customs rules, customs declarations, and state aid, they were meant to enable the government in London to overrule this agreement with the European Union. So, of course, the European Union was infuriated. And now the UK is saying, OK, we're taking that back and going back to what actually was agreed last year.
All right. So how much of a concession is this by the British government to the EU? And does this mean a Brexit deal can still be salvaged?
Well, the honest answer to that is maybe. It's definitely a positive sign, a gesture of goodwill, and it can help improve the atmosphere in the actual talks between the EU and UK on a possible trade agreement. It can help restore trust, but we are hearing from politicians in the European Parliament that they are not sure about that damage has been done, that they don't know if they can trust the UK and their government. And of course, some voices here are also saying that it could be an excuse for Boris Johnson to say, OK, we now showed this gesture of goodwill, and if the EU is not ready to compromise, that we can just walk away. So I would say that it can go both ways still.
Can go both ways. DW Brussels bureau chief Alexander von Namen reporting. Thank you.
Now, the two sides need to come to an agreement before January 1st. Otherwise, from that day onward, tariffs will have to be paid on goods entering the UK from the EU and the other way around. So what's at stake? Well, the World Trade Organization puts the figure at 3.1% for customs tariffs for goods from the EU to the UK and 3.3% for goods heading the other way. And that's not all. Certain types of products could even have much higher duties come the new year. Cars and agriculture could see tariffs as high as 13%, while products like milk could even see something as whopping as 36%. Now, with the economies on both sides of the channel suffering due to the coronavirus crisis, neither wants Brexit to happen without a deal in place. Now, I'm joined now by Ulrich Ackermann. He's head of foreign trade for Germany's VDMA Mechanical Engineering Association. Hello, Mr. Ackermann. Thank you for joining us.
Hello.
I wanted to ask you, how are your members approaching this moment right now as the negotiations near?
Yeah, the member companies have to adapt to a hard Brexit or to a smooth Brexit. That means they have to adapt their international IT processes. They have to prepare the relevant custom documents, and if a hard Brexit comes, they have to pay custom duties. But what is open now is how will the impact of the border controls be on the delivery times, for example, and what is the availability of trucks and containers on both sides. So we have a lot of questions open now.
What kind of costs are you seeing put on your members as they just prepare for either outcome?
Yeah, I have recently had a conversation with a medium-sized mechanical engineering company, and they explained to me that only the customs declarations cost for them as a medium-sized companies is around €280,000. And also this company has to increase its stocks in the UK for finished products and for spare parts, which is binding several millions of euro in capital.
Are those tariffs that could come about in the event of a no-trade deal, are those going to make or break any of the businesses that are part of your membership?
No, I don't think so, because tariffs in machinery sector on both sides are relatively low. For example, on the EU side, tariffs in the machinery sector is 1.5 to 3%, which is not a very high figure. So we will not have any significant effect about this.
Are there other concerns facing your members, if not the tariffs themselves? Are there other concerns aside from customs in terms of standards? Are obviously one issue that are facing both sides. How does that affect your industry?
Yeah, now we have standards all over Europe and the EFTA states. That means we have a machinery directive and safety standards for all kinds of machines. And it's still open what will happen with the UK. They want to have control back. That means they, in the medium term, they want to develop their own standards. And this would hinder the business with the United Kingdom.
And then lastly, do you see any benefits to Brexit from your side at all, or is it all just pitfalls for your businesses?
No, we see no benefits. At the end, it's a lose-lose result for the Europeans and also for Great Britain, because business is difficult after the Brexit than it was before.
All right, Ulrich Ackermann with the VDMA. Thank you very much for joining us.
Okay, thank you very much. Bye.
And let's bring in now our financial correspondent in Frankfurt, Chelsea Delaney. Chelsea, good to see you. We talk about the uncertainty that businesses must prepare for and the costs that come with that. How does that weigh on markets? Are we seeing it there?
We have seen a little bit of pressure on markets both in the UK and in Europe over the past couple of days as the hopes for a trade deal dim a little bit. We've heard today, for example, from Prime Minister Boris Johnson in the UK that really people should not be getting their hopes up about a deal at this point. But of course, I would say markets are really underpricing the risks of a no-deal Brexit. Many investors remain quite optimistic that the logic will prevail, the economic consequences will drive these leaders to reach a deal. But I would say that investors are really not prepared at this point for a no-deal Brexit.
All right, Chelsea Delaney watching markets in Frankfurt. Thank you.